Hey folks, I'm Sarah and I'm on the 2025 jury for what I think is the best book prize for literary fiction from small presses. It's called the Republic of Consciousness Prize, United States and Canada, and it is dedicated to literary fiction from small presses in North America. Over the next few months, I will be sharing every single book nominated for the prize, and while I can't share my personal opinions on each book just yet, I will share enough details so that you can get to know the book and the publisher. Every book gets its very own video, and you are not going to want to miss a single one. First up, but in no particular order, is The Remembered Soldier by Anjet Daanje, translated from Dutch by David McKay and published by New Vessel Press. This novel is about a wounded soldier from World War I who is living in a mental hospital or asylum in 1920s Belgium. He has suffered an injury that has robbed him entirely of his memory. Anything that happened before his arrival at this hospital is gone. He doesn't remember the war, he doesn't remember his childhood, he doesn't remember his family, nothing. And he lives in this hospital with the other patients and the monks that run the hospital for 4 years, and he's given the name Noon because he doesn't remember his actual name. Until one day, 4 years after he arrived at this hospital, a woman shows up and identifies him as her husband, Amand. And she takes Amand home with her. He goes home with her, and they begin the very arduous process of trying to reintroduce him to his former life. So it becomes a real psychological novel of, what's real, what's not, who's telling the truth, what really happened. One really fun fact about this novel that I didn't really realize until after I read it is that the vast majority, I would say, of paragraphs in this novel begin with the word "and." So just a few examples of the beginning of paragraphs. And when they say their goodbyes, she and Felice embrace. And after school, Rose runs into the kitchen, and he gets up and goes out onto the landing to spend a few minutes alone, and Rose doesn't come back for a long time. And after breakfast, he gets up from the table and says he's going to fix the roof, and he's tired after all the nights of lying half awake. And in the shop, he falls into conversation with a woman, and in the middle of the night, he startles awake, and he's in the studio in her house, and in the middle of the night, he's jolted awake. So the vast majority start with the word "and." I have my own thoughts and theories for why this is and how it impacts the reading experience, but I'll let you read the book for yourself and come up with your own theories, and hopefully you'll share with me in the comments below what you think they are. One clue of my theory of how this impacted my reading experience of this book is actually the word included on the thumbnail for this video. Anjet Daanje is a writer from the Netherlands. Her books have received many awards in the Netherlands, and New Vessel Press is an independent publishing house based in New York City and specializes in fiction and narrative nonfiction in translation. And they say, "We scour the globe looking for the best stories, knowing that only a fraction of the books published in the United States each year are translations. We believe that knowledge of a multitude of cultures and literatures enriches our lives by offering passageways to understand and embrace the world. We also regard literary translation as both craft and art, enabling us to traverse borders and open minds. We publish great books just in a new vessel," hence the name. "We look forward to bringing the world's great literature to ever more readers." And New Vessel Press is also the publisher of Pollux Arm by Hans van Trotha, and it's translated by Elizabeth Loffer. And this was shortlisted for, I think, the 2022 Republic of Consciousness Prize for the United States and Canada, whatever the first year was for the prize. This was shortlisted and was actually my favorite book from the prize shortlist that year. They also publish a series of holiday stories from other countries that look really, really fun. So to give you just a sampling, they have, or actually to list all of them, they have published a very Brazilian Christmas, a very Mexican Christmas, a very French Christmas, a very Russian Christmas, a very Italian Christmas, a very German Christmas, a very Indian Christmas, a very Scandinavian Christmas, a very Irish Christmas, and one for each night, which is a collection of Hanukkah stories. And each anthology includes stories from many different authors, including literary greats like Clarice Lispector, Salman Rushdie, Natalia Ginzburg, William Trevor, Dostoevsky, and I could go on and on. There are like amazing authors included in these anthologies, and I've been wanting to invest in these books ever since in 2022 when I discovered New Vessel Press because of the Republic of Consciousness Prize. I found their website, found that they published these holiday anthologies of short stories. So that is the beauty of a prize like this. It can lead you to like so many treasures, just even beyond the books that are on the long list for the prize or beyond the winner of the prize. It can open all sorts of new doors for readers like you and me who are interested in finding hidden treasures. And that's just one of many incredible books nominated by one of many incredible publishers. The long list of 10 books is usually announced in mid-January-ish, but I guarantee you there are going to be more than 10 amazing books from these nominees. So if you love offbeat, under-the-radar literary fiction, you are going to want to follow along. Click above or below for the next nominated book. If I've filmed it, it'll be available there. If not, stay tuned for just a little while longer. And in the meantime, you can click the playlist below that will contain all of the nominated books that I've shared so far. Again, my name is Sarah. Thank you so much for joining me here. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.